Hey, you guys, good night. I hope everyone's having a good Friday night. So we've been keeping up with the Quentin Simon case since the very beginning. Anytime they have filings or anything, I try to update you guys on what's going on. Now, they did have a court date the other day that I actually didn't make a video on, but nothing really happened. I think I made a post about it because I decided not to make a video on. It would have been nothing there just to say she didn't show up in court. She don't have to go, I don't guess, but she didn't go, and they moved the court date. That was basically it. They're asking that they don't want the Chatham County actually does not want cameras in the courtroom, and neither does the defense. So you guys, it honestly, considering that the state and the defense, neither one of them want cameras inside that courtroom, we might not get cameras inside that courtroom. Usually you'll have like the state like on your side saying we want cameras in the courtroom for transparency. We want the people that's been interested in this case to be shown. We want to show them transparency. We want them to see how things are happening with this case. But apparently, Chatham County does not want cameras in there. Which, can I blame them? No, I can't blame them. After all the BS that protesters and YouTubers like showing up outside the house, showing up at outside of Chatham County. The courtroom. I'm not shocked. Okay. So one of my good friends sent me a link in Discord saying, "Elle, go check this link out because there's been some documents filed in the Quentin Simon case." So I clicked on the link and it took me to a Twitter page where this other true crime person was um, had the documents behind their Patreon and was charging $5 a month to join the Patreon. I actually tried to join the Patreon, but for some reason it wouldn't let me join the Patreon because I was like, I'll join the Patreon, I'll look at the documents, and then I'll do a video about it or whatever. But it wouldn't let me do it, so I was like, you know what? I pulled her court documents the other day, so I have an account to pull them. Then I just had to go through the all my books back here. I have 5 notebooks to find the address, the web address to find these documents. So I was like sitting here looking through all of my books, and I finally found the web address so I could go and look for these documents. And thankfully, I found them. And what's so crazy, you guys, you can buy the documents online for $2. The True Crime Channel, and this is no hate. Hey, he's hustling, okay? The True Crime Channel that has them on Twitter, like saying like to see the court documents, subscribe to my Patreon. It's $5 a month. He's charging $5 a month, and you can buy them online for $2. So somebody even called him out on that. It was like, hey, you can get them online for $2, and he was like, don't talk about my hustle, okay? Anyways, so after I found the login information, got on there, and I was able to obtain these documents. Basically, what they are, the state of Georgia is has subpoenaed her dental records, Leilani's. So we're gonna look at that, okay? This was filed today. It was filed today at 11:43 this morning. It says state of Georgia versus Leilani Marie Simon. State's notice of subpoena for production of documents, Aspen Dental and Billie Joe Howe. It says, with this filing, the state notifies the defendant through counsel of the enclosed subpoena for production of documents. The subpoena to Aspen Dental was served yesterday. The subpoena to Billie Joe Howe was served today. Separately, the undersigned has also emailed copies of the subpoena to both counsel for the defendant this 27th day of January 2023, signed by Tim Dean, Assistant District Attorney. So, what did I just do with that? I guess she at least went to the dentist every once in a while. All right, now, here is, I guess, like a copy of the subpoena. It says subpoena for the production of evidence. State of Georgia, Chatham County, to Delilah Williams, practice manager, Aspen Dental. You are hereby required to appear at Chatham County Superior Court before Honorable Tammy Stokes, judge of Superior Court in room 600 of the Chatham County Courthouse at 9 a.m. on the 13th day of February 2023, and to bring with you into said court certain documents to be used as evidence by the district attorney in a certain case pending in said court between the state of Georgia versus Leilani Marie Simon and the case number. It says the following are hereby subpoenaed: any and all records pertaining to dental treatment of Leilani Simon from the period of October 1st to October 5th. Now, okay, of last year. Little Quentin was reported missing on October 5th. So this is right around the time. Makes me wonder if somehow they found out he had bite marks or something, and they want to make sure they get like recent dental records. I don't know. I don't know. Kelly, you're in the chat. What do you think, Kelly? Kelly Brown. So it says here, B says, someone bit one or more of the children. It sounds like Leilani is blaming Billie Joe. Okay, it says you are required to attend from day to day and from time to time until the matter is disposed of. Hearing fail not under the penalty of law. So order Honorable Tammy Stokes, judge of said court on the 25th day of January. If you have blah, blah, blah. If you have any questions, contact you know who. Okay, so that is the actual subpoena that went to Aspen Dental Records. Now, here is the subpoena that went to Billie Joe. All right, so it says, state of Georgia, it says, top it says, state of Georgia, Chatham County 2, Billie Joe Howe, a.k.a. Billie Joe Betterton, gives her address. I'm not doxing her. It is completely out there. It says you are hereby required to be and appear at the Chatham County Superior Court before Honorable Tammy Stokes, judge of Superior Court in room 600 at the Chatham County Courthouse at 9 a.m. on the 13th day of February 2023, and to bring with you into said court documents to be used as evidence by the district attorney in certain case pending in said court, the state of Georgia versus Leilani Marie Simon, and the case number. So what they're going to subpoena: any and all journals, diaries, or other writings of Leilani Simon currently in the possession, actual or constructive, sold or joint, of Billie Joe Howe, aka Billie Joe Betterton. It says you are required to attend from day to day, time to time, until the matter is disposed of. Here and fail under penalty of law. Obviously, if you can't make it, contact, All right, this is certificate of service. It says, I have this day, Robert Adrich Joseph Vinger, counsel of the defendant, to be served with this filing by leaving a copy at the front desk of the district attorney's office for pickup by counselor's runner. So, okay. Yes. Okay, T-Walk says, I'm a dental assistant, and that subpoena doesn't make sense. If there was a bite mark, they would need impressions of the defendant's teeth. That's how you match it. Okay, see, at first I was thinking they need impressions. Like maybe there was some proof of a bite. But you guys, I'm really reconsidering this because I'm like, okay, well, it was partial remains that were found, as well as he had been out there for a while. He had been out there for like 2 months when he was found. So I don't know if they would even be able to tell that. But yes, in her statement, now she gave a few different answers about where she was. She did say that she went to the dumpster that morning to meet someone to get Orajel because she had a toothache. But I'm still like, what does that matter? Maybe she didn't go to the dentist. Did anyone claim that she did? What if she's using medical treatment or medicine as some reasoning for psychosis? That might. I bet she had teeth removed within just a few days of her son's death. His little body would have not. Yeah, exactly, Lisa. It must have to do with the medications prescribed. They might try to blame an altered state of mine due to the medication. Yet it is nice having a dental assistant here. So thank you, T Walk. The only thing that makes sense is if there were meds, painkillers prescribed. Let me see. Let me see something here. I think I still have the thing that where I can pull the other documents. Why does it not say that I don't own these? Are you guys seeing that? Let me adjust it. Let's go over the indictment again really quickly and see how this can make sense. When I saw it, I initially thought bites. I'm like, oh my gosh, she must have bit him. Like maybe she's blaming it on her mom. Like what's going on here? But now I am rethinking that because he was out there for way too long. There wasn't enough left to really think that. Abscess in the mouth can be used in another case where the mom wrecked the van and killed her kids and nieces is very rare. Kelly B, I've been on for 10 minutes, babe. Maybe they have pics of him with bite marks and want to compare to prove abuse. This one stumps me. I thought about that too. I was like, there are a lot of pictures out there of Quentin. So maybe there was one where it looks like, I don't know, DFCS have records of abuse on all the children before they were removed. Sometimes people will go pill shopping to dentists if they have drug issues. That is true too, because I know somebody that used to do that. Okay. So this is the whatever you call it. All right, let's see. I'm trying to see what all 8 pages. Oh, this is her statement basically. This is the arrest affidavit, I think, or the indictment. I'm so sorry. This is the indictment. Please, good googly moogly, excuse me. I can't think straight today, you guys. This Murdoch trial got me all. Um, Lauren is asking T Walk, do you guys still give them medicine? Uh, if they have like a, if they have like an abscess or if they have an infected tooth, I would assume they would get like antibiotics and pain meds, but I'm not exactly sure. I'm not a dentist. Far from it. Okay, so here is malice murder, felony murder. I know she goes over like what happened. So that's what I'm trying to get to. Where she gives her, let me see, making a false statement. She left her home in the late night hours of October 4th to meet her drug dealer, falsely stating. Okay, this one's count 6. So, okay, so Leilani's been accused and charged with the offense of making a false statement. For that, the said Leilani Simon in the county of Chatham, state of Georgia, on or about the 5th day of October 2022, did knowingly and willfully make a false statement to Marion Lemons of the Chatham County Police Department and Bradford Snyder of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Law enforcement officers engaged in the lawful discharge of their official duties investigating the disappearance of Quentin Simon, a matter within the jurisdiction of the Chatham County Police Department, a department of the government of this county, to investigate by having admitted that she left her home in the late night hours of October 4th, 2022, to meet her drug dealer, falsely stating that the purpose of this meeting was to pay an existing drug debt, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. Okay, so that's not the one where she said that. by falsely stating that the only controlled substance which she regularly uses was marijuana. Oh, that's not it. All right. This one may be it. Let's see. This is count 9. Okay, admitted that she left her home in the early morning hours of October 5th, 2022, falsely stating that the purpose of this trip was to meet her friend Misty to obtain Oragel, a topical pain reliever, from Misty, and that on this trip, the accused had in fact met Misty at a Chevron service station and had obtained Oragel from her. Contrary to the. Okay, so I laughed because there was something that was funny when I was reading that I thought about, and I was like, wow, that doesn't make sense. What am I? Okay. One thing, first off, if you need Oragel and the Chevron, I know the Chevrons where we live, they're open 24/7, and they have Oragel. What was I reading a while ago that I was like, that it like sparked something in my memory where I thought it was like, oh yeah, that's funny. Admitted that she left her home in the early morning hours of October 5th, falsely stating, oh, she gave them so many false statements. Like she told them so many different things. She got herself like several extra charges because she lied so many times. Like she should have picked one story and stuck to it, you know? Okay, so this one's 9, making a false statement. Then the early morning hours, October 5th, 2022, she had in fact traveled to Aslay Mobile Home Plaza and there had discarded her son Quentin Simon in the dumpster. Contrary, that seems like a real statement, though. In the early morning hours of October 5th, she had in fact traveled to Aslay Mobile Home Plaza and there had discarded her son Quentin Simon in a dumpster. What's a lie about that though? Like this is what we know, right? Count 11. Count 11 by admitting that she left her home to go meet her drug dealer in the late night hours of October 4th, falsely stating that the purpose of this meeting was to pay an existing drug debt. That's count 11. Count 12, she left in the early morning hours. Oh, she left on the night of October 4th. She had used a controlled substance. Then on the night of October 4th, she had used controlled substances. Here's another one. Count 13. By having admitted that she left her home in the early morning hours of October 5th and had traveled to Aslay Mobile Home Plaza, falsely stating that the purpose of this trip was to meet her friend Misty to obtain Oragel, a topical reliever from Misty, and that on this trip, the accused had in fact met Misty at the trailer park now, before it was at a Chevron, but now it's at a trailer park, and had obtained the Oragel. All right. So I guess she first said, "Oh, well, I went to the Chevron," but then when they found out, look, we got you on tape at the trailer park, she was like, "Oh, well, really, it was at the trailer park. I was just getting Oragel though." Count 14. That in the early morning hours of October 5th at Aslay Mobile Home Plaza, she had discarded her son Quentin Simon in a dumpster. That seems legit. I'm like, what did we lie about here? Because this is what we know, right? All right, count 15. By admitting that she had left her home in the early morning hours of October 5th, had traveled to Aslay Mobile Home Plaza, falsely stating that the purpose of this trip was to meet her friend Misty at the plaza and obtain Oragel. So I guess she told these stories multiple times, and each time she lied was another charge. All right, this one, count 16, by having admitted that she had discarded something in the dumpster at Aslay Mobile Home Plaza in the early morning hours of October 5th, falsely stating that she had discarded was what she had discarded was normal household garbage, which that yeah we know that's not true. Count 17. Then the early morning hours of October 5th at the Aslay Mobile Home Plaza, she had discarded her son, Quentin Simon, in a dumpster. Count 18. By falsely stating that it was not the accused, but rather Daniel Youngkin, who had traveled away from the home in the early morning hours of October 5th. She literally tried to blame Danny, who I think is turned state witness, and that's why he's MIA. I think when this goes to trial, he's coming out. He's going to come out to testify against her. Okay, so the last one, count 19, is by having once again admitted that she, not Daniel Youngkin, had left the home in the early morning hours of October 5th, traveled to the mobile home park, and having admitted that she had no contact with her friend Misty, falsely stating that she did not remember what she had done there. That might be a big one. Okay, this might be a big one. So on this one, count 19, she says, well, I do remember going to the mobile home plaza. I know I was there, but I don't remember what I was there for. So maybe if they can prove that she went to the dentist at some point, she's going to claim, well, I was on pain medication from the dentist, and it made me forgetful. But my thing is, like, we know she smokes a lot of weed. We know she has done cocaine. She's been arrested for cocaine. She's been arrested for marijuana. She her two of her babies were born with it in their system. So if she's doing cocaine, I don't think a little bit of like Tylenol 3 is gonna, unless she had like some. I mean, if she had like oral surgery just days before that, then she may have gotten like an actual like hydrocodone. But I know doctors that I go to, like the dentist, they're pretty strict around here now, and like the most you'll get is like a Tylenol 3. It's not like a real like, it's like got a little bit of narcotic in it, but not a lot. It's like acetaminophen and narcotics. If it stated dental records, it wasn't for specifically medications. A subpoena is usually written more specifically. They don't need dental records. That is more information than needed. Yeah, that's what it said, dental records. They don't want Billie Joe's dental records. They want any diaries, journals, notes, letters that Billie Joe may have in her possession or at her house or anywhere that are Leilani's. Shay says, do you think Danny was made aware of Quentin's death after the fact? I'm curious of his statement. I don't know. I don't know if Danny is involved at all. There's a part of me that thinks he knows. From my understanding, Danny's like never late for work. He's usually a little bit early, but on that day, he was late for work. He was the last person that allegedly saw Quentin alive. Well, he says when he left to go to work, Quentin was asleep in the playpen. But we know that Quentin was already out of the house by that time due to the footage of her being caught at the dumpster. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that. So unless she put like a rolled up blanket in there and made it look like he was in there, then he might would have thought, oh well, Quentin's asleep, and he just it just so happened he was late that day. So I don't know. I struggle with that, but they allegedly, Danny as well as Leilani allegedly took lie detector test. Danny was at Chatham County Police Department for he like him and Leilani went in together for questioning. He got out like way before Leilani did. Like he took his lie detector test, passed it, answered some questions, and they let him go. But Leilani was there for hours after that. If I had a few teeth pulled, my doctor says take Tylenol and ice it, or they will pack the tooth with antibiotics and seal it. Yeah. With her, tolerance pain medication would not make her forget. See, that's what I was saying. Like, I just don't think. If she's going to try to use the fact that she was on medication prescribed to her by a dentist, which is not going to be anything like super strong, it's going to be like, at the very most, it's going to be like a 7.5, maybe a 10 milligram, like hydrocodone. But she's used to doing, like, from my understanding, smoking a lot of pot, and doing cocaine. Well, the timeline had always been rehearsed. Oh, hearsay. Sorry, we are waiting on the LA to confirm it. Yeah, yes. I don't think in that indictment it said exactly what time. Also, I want to say the neighbor said she saw Danny like driving like by the house at like 8:30 or something. I don't know. The only type of medications you get from the dentist that will make you forget is a Halquin, is a benzo used for non-sedation dentistry. I'm not from. I didn't know they did that. Yeah, I think that's a weak defense if that's what she's going with. Wonder if we'll ever see those interrogation videos. Ooh, we just went through. Okay, we can go through more of it. We'll see. We'll see really quickly. All right, let's see if it tells us what time. We'll see. Concealing the death, felony murder, concealing the death. I think this is just all her charges. Hold up, but felony murder does give more info though. So malice murder, felony murder, 2 counts, concealing the death of another, false report of a crime, and making false statement, 14 counts. Crazy. What she gets if she did this. Trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Okay. Hey Shay, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Fam Bam. Okay, this says Leilani Simon being charged with the offense of malice murder. For that, this said Leilani in the county of Chatham, state of Georgia, on October 5th, did unlawfully with malice aforethought cause the death of her son, Quentin, human being, in the manner unknown to the grand jury at this time, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia. Then below that, it says felony murder. I'm skipping all the the legal jargon. It says Leilani, on or about the 5th day of October, did commit the offense of aggravated assault. It's a violation of OCGA 16521, a felony, and that the accused did make an assault upon the person of her son, Quentin Simon, with an object that, when used offensively against a person, did result in serious bodily injury. The nature of that object being unknown to the grand jury at this time, and that the accused did, in the commission of this offense, cause Quentin's death. Felony murder. That Leilani, on about the 5th of October 2022, did commit the offense of cruelty to a child in the first degree. And that the accused did maliciously cause her son, Quentin Simon, a human being and a child under the age of 18 years, cruel and excessive physical pain in the manner unknown to the grand jury at this time. And the accused did, in the commission of the offense, cause Quentin's death contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia, concealing the death of another. So Leilani, with the offense of, she's been charged with the offense of concealing the death of another. It said that Leilani, on or about the 5th day of October, did unlawfully conceal the death of her son, Quentin Simon, by discarding him at a dumpster at Azalea Mobile Home Plaza, which hindered the discovery of whether Quentin was unlawfully killed. This one is false report of a crime. So this gets into what she told the police, basically. Okay, so on the 5th day of October, did willfully and knowingly give a false report of a crime to the Chatham County Police Department by implying that Quentin had been abducted by an unknown intruder. So abducted, that she was at the that she left her home to go meet a drug dealer. Lying saying she only smoked marijuana. Lying saying the only drug that she had taken in the last 24 hours was marijuana. So obviously they took a drug test on her. So that is the indictment. So it definitely talks about her claiming to have went and got Orgeil from her friend Misty, which I mean that was a lie. So I don't know. My mind is going more towards like maybe she's gonna try to stick to one of those alibis. I don't know. Maybe she's really gonna try to say, I really didn't do it. I really did go get Orgeil. Like pull my dental records. I was just at the dentist because my teeth was hurting and he wouldn't give me anything to help it. So I laid down that night. My mouth was hurting so bad. I contacted a friend of mine and I went and got Orgeil. Like get get the dental records to show that I was just there with a bad tooth and they didn't give me anything to help it. I don't know. Um, is law enforcement trying to prove or disprove that Leilani had dental problems, or did his remains have bite marks? Well, I don't think we can know whether or not his remains would have bite marks because they found partial remains. We don't even know, how like the extent of how much of him they really found. But he was out there for like 2 months, so he decomposed to the point to where it was probably just like bones left. I would think. I don't know. I don't know the process of decomposition and how quick it happens, but I do know that it does happen quicker under certain weather conditions. So being out there in the heat because it was really hot, it did rain. There it come like a storm one day, like 2 days over the weekend one time. So rain, heat. I don't know. That would make me feel like the stages of decomposition will be sped up a little bit. So I just have a feeling there was no way that they could prove that when he passed away, he had bite marks. I just don't think that could be plausible. What if part of her tooth was broken off in him? Surely not. Not to mention they put chemicals on the trash to break it down. Yes. I thought she said one of the kids was teething and Diane, the babysitter, confirmed that. As far as needing the Orajel, maybe. I don't think it says she was going to get the Orajel for her. Yeah, it doesn't say she was going to get it for her, just that she was going to get it. So, but okay, so the Orajel wouldn't be for her then if it was for the baby. So I'm stumped on this, you guys. I'm really stumped on why they would want her dental records. Now they're trying to get CPS records. Maybe they've gotten them. Maybe they've gotten the CPS records. Those would absolutely be sealed. We wouldn't see those. So maybe they've gotten the CPS records and there's something in there pointing to bites. Can babies use like regular Orajel? I think they can, but they have baby Orajel. And for me, I always use the baby Orajel. Beastly Bee says, well, if they've done a drug test on her, depending on whether or not it was a 12 panel or not, hydrocodone shows up. So if that's her defense and she didn't have it in her system, well, yeah, that would make a little bit of sense. If she was said, I went to the dentist, I was on pain medication, and they did a drug test and there wasn't any pain medication. So they're trying to prove if she went to the dentist or not and what she got from the dentist. Maybe just looking for prescriptions, yeah. almost all of it Rainbow Mom. We've been on for 35 minutes. But you can back it up and play it at like 1.5 speed and probably catch up. There was something else that I want to go over with you guys really quickly. All right. Oh, where is it? Where does it go? All right. What if she's saying he got her medication? And that's how he passed. So more than likely for Leilani, they probably did a urinalysis, a hair follicle, and a nail drug test just to cover all their bases. And they probably did like 12 panel or whatever has like the most drugs on it. What's the most? I don't know. When I took my drug test, I did a hair test and I did a 12 panel. And I requested to make sure it showed for cocaine because I wanted to show like I don't do cocaine. Um, that would be like, what if she said, yeah. And now we're just kind of throwing out theories here, which some channels don't like when I do it, but I do like just kind of talking about it with you guys. So sometimes I do talk about my kind of theories. I'm not saying she did these things. I'm just tossing things out there. I like the discussion with you guys, but other channels don't like it apparently. So one thing could be maybe she said, well, I got hydrocodone from the dentist because I had a bad tooth, and he got into it, and I woke up and found him deceased and got scared. So they're verifying whether or not she went to the dentist and what she may have gotten at the dentist. Okay, so no, Nom Garvey says, I'm watching from the beginning, so my apologies if this has already been said, but Leilani apparently had dental surgery the day before Quentin was killed. You see, it seems like I thought that, but then I was like, wait, I don't think so. I don't think she did. But I do remember hearing something about like going to the dentist or something. So maybe that's what it is. Thank you, Nom. Um, I doubt they would do a drug test when they were just interrogating her and her lawyer and stuff, all that. She probably had a court appointed attorney. I mean, they drug tested her for sure because they charged her with lying by saying the only drugs that I've done in the last 24 hours was marijuana. So they had to know that that was not the case. Speculation that maybe they were trying to match up bite marks from before he passed, from other children. Might have been, yeah. She was on parole. She would have been drug tested. That yes, she was on parole as well. And I'm from my understanding, like when a child passes away, like and they think a parent has done it, don't they usually drug test the parent, like just to double check? She just doesn't seem the type to go out in the middle of the night to buy anything for her child. I agree. I went to pain management monthly for 17 years, was drug tested almost every month. Yeah. I think they do that to pain management patients. Yeah, he was reported missing on October 5th. It was the morning of October 5th that everything popped off. That the boyfriend's phone texted the babysitter, Miss Diana, and said, hey, you don't need to watch the kids today. That was at 5:29 in the morning. And then at 9 o'clock, they called her and said, have you seen Quentin? And she was like, no, what do you mean? And they're like, he's missing. So she takes off up there. That date will be forever ingrained in my mind because it is the day that my grandpa passed away, and it's also my niece's birthday. It was my niece's 18th birthday, and my grandpa passed away. No, her mother is out of jail. Billie Joe is no longer in jail. She spent, I think it was 10 days in the Chatham County Detention Center um, because she violated a gag order. But she is out of jail. Now, the last hearing that they had, Leilani was not there, and neither was Billie Joe. Billie Joe wasn't there. Leilani wasn't there. There was something that I wanted to show you guys. So, from my understanding, all right. double check this. So Chatham County prosecutors are pushing to block camera access at the Leilani murder trial. And you guys, I really think the reason they're doing this is because the spectacle that was made during this whole unfortunate, heartbreaking situation. I think if people would have just went there and stood outside and done the peaceful protest, then I don't think Chatham County would be pushing back on cameras. But media outlets, they're requesting to have cameras in there. They're like, can we have cameras in here? Usually Chatham County doesn't, not Chatham County, but usually the state doesn't fight back on that, from my understanding. Usually the state will be like, sure, for transparency. Like, people are invested in this case, let them see it. But the fact that the state doesn't even want it shown, doesn't want cameras in there, makes me feel like it's because they're like, you know what, with the way like those YouTubers acted and the protesters acted and making this like a big old deal and then coming out here and protesting outside the courtroom. No, I don't want to mess with it. I don't want cameras either. So if the prosecution and the defense both agree that they don't want cameras in that courtroom, while it's ultimately still up to the judge, like of course the judge can say yay or nay, despite what they're saying. But I feel like because they're both saying we don't want them there, I think the judge will be like, okay. They should put it on TV so people don't show up in person at the. Exactly, Kelly. Um, yeah, most drug tests. Beasley B says, yeah, most drug tests for benzos, opiates, stimulants, and marijuana covers all the bases. Kelly Rose says, yes, you always get drug tested in rehab, but you have to sign a release form for them, for anybody to get that information. Gotcha. Duke says that mouth motion with Billie Joe convinced me she was on something. Yeah, that yeah. Beasley B says she could say that he got into her medication, but in the indictment, didn't it say that she beat him to death with an object? I wonder if that's their assumption. I feel like they have some sort of evidence that led them to think that. I don't think she confessed to that. I think they have some sort of evidence that makes them have that assumption. Um, Donna says, think about it. They only want the dentist records for after his death. No, they want them from October 1st to the 5th. I think that's what they said. I think it's the 1st to the 5th. I'm going to double check that. Yes. The following are hereby subpoena any and all records pertaining to dental treatment of Leilani Simon for the period of October 1st, 2022 to October 5th, 2022. So it's up until the day that he disappeared. Um, 123 miles from Savannah. I really want to attend that trial. I do too, but I'm 14 hours. Maybe if for somehow my YouTube channel pops off and I start making bank and I can just fly and hire like my mom to stay with the kids. But unless a miracle happens, like I'm not gonna be able to go. DCS also tests for buprenorphine. Crystal Sears says people would still go even if it was on TV. Molly went to the death trial. T Walk says, I agree. There is no cameras is because of the spectacle before that occurred. Doug says, you might be right, but I think they don't want cameras because they're going to bring up stuff on the CPS investigation, even what they are finding with the other two kids. That's true, but like when it happens, okay, so when they have a trial that's going to be put on TV and it does involve stuff that's going to be, they will cut the cameras off They'll cut the audio out, and they like right now I'm covering the Alec Murdoch trial, and while it doesn't include any minors, there are things that they don't want said publicly. So like they'll mute the mic. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it could still be a way to do this. They could just turn the mic off before they say whatever. Yes, they did. They did luminol testing. The older one is probably in therapy and telling all. I've prayed that the other kids, even though one was only 2 months old at the time or 4 months old at the time, I prayed so hard that they didn't see it. Minnie says, I just can't believe. Oh, um, Janie says, I wonder if Danny knew that she beat him. Maybe he didn't know she killed him until he went missing. Maybe so. But I feel like he's going to be a state's witness. I feel like he went in there like, I'll tell you whatever you want to know because I ain't going down for this. I'm, okay, I'm behind. Dawn says she could be claiming that she had a bad reaction to whatever medication she was on at the dentist and she can't remember. That's a possible defense. That's true, yeah. Donna says, I bet my last dollar, the public defender is going to try to get off on a technicality of being on pay meds during them questioning her, since they only want records or days after the baby's death. Yeah, before the well, well, they would have drug tested her when she was arrested or when they interrogated her or whatever. Um, but they want the records on from the first to the fifth. So around the time he went missing, right before and after, right before and the day of. Lacey Lou says, I think they found part of a tooth in his little body and they want to confirm whose tooth, hence the short window of records they're looking for. I mean, it would have had to been buried in his bone. You know what I'm saying for that? Because I don't think he had any skin or tissue left on him. Kelly, what do you think? 2 months? Do you think he would have been anything other than bones? Um, and two, like we seen her on TV, she wasn't missing any teeth unless it was like a back tooth, and I would have to imagine if she lost a back tooth in his skin. I mean, when you bite someone, it's usually just your front like four teeth, and we didn't see that she had any teeth missing. So I don't really lean towards that there was a piece of a tooth in him because I'm just like, well, he decomposed. There was no skin left, probably no muscle or anything like that. It was probably just bone. And for a tooth to get stuck in a bone, holy moly. Uh, Carrie says, I'm on buprenorphine myself and you don't get high from it at all. Lauren says, I went to a trial before and went inside the courthouse in person to watch it a few times. The Ridge, 14 hours, made me chuckle. That's the truth. The flight would not be 14 hours. The drive. Um, I don't even know how long it takes for opioids, but I'm aware that weed takes 4 weeks to get out of your system. Um, Carrie says the boxing is okay. T-Walk says yes, and they are asking for Leilani's dental records, not the baby's. He would be too young to have any records. JJ says Molly wasn't at Depp. Molly actually was at the Johnny Depp trial. All apologies. Carrie, no, you don't. Anyone that says you do has never said. I don't know what Carrie said. Miss FSU says fly to Jackson, Florida, and I'll pick you up. I also have a terrible fear of flying. um, under 10 hours, you can come stay with me. It only takes about 1 hour. Thank you. Yes, she did. She showed fans outside the courtroom. She was there. Yeah, she did go. Oh, Raven. Thank you so much, Raven. Raven has been a part of the Fam Bam, a member of the channel for 2 months. Thank you, Raven. She didn't have no reaction to that 8 ball. True story. True story. Let me see. Read a few more comments, and we're knocking almost at an hour, so we'll go ahead and get off. Dental treatment is different than records. They are looking for meds. But wouldn't the records show what the treatment was? Like, wouldn't the records show everything? Like, came in on this day. had this issue, or we did XYZ, and this is how we addressed it, and this was the medication. Wouldn't like the record show like everything? That's why I would just assume. I'm not sure though. From my understanding, they got evidence of the electronic devices. Yeah, she wasn't in the courtroom. That was shown. Um, all apologies says that Miss FSU. Yes, she was. She wore a mint green shirt one day. Casey says defense will say due to surgery, anesthesia, that she doesn't remember and committed this horrible act like a side effect. Is there a trial date set? Not yet. Okay. You are welcome, Anita. You are so welcome. Donna, I have gotten your email, but I have not even had a spare minute to respond. I do apologize so bad. I've been just balls to the wall. This Murdoch trial, like covering that all day, is draining. And then, like as soon as I get off, I'm like doing this and doing that and doing this and doing that, and it's just like my mom called me twice today, and I didn't get the answer because I was busy. And she texted me said, "Call me ASAP." Like really call me because she knows if she don't say like "call me ASAP," I won't call her until like 4 or 5 days down the line. Will I actually have a free minute? Um, Babies can go to the dentist too as soon as the first tooth cut, so he could have had records if they had took him. T Walk says, I feel like she said she got meds from dentists and prosecution is covering their bases and getting their records. By the way, records are what is written in the charts and possible x-rays. Thank you. Kelly says that dental records would encompass everything. Um, Miss FSU, Miss B, I'm serious. If you need a ride, let me know. Thank you. I will let you know. Elle Bee says, Leilani, it doesn't seem like the type to go to the dentist. I think February 13th is not the, is it the start of the trial? I've never heard of a trial starting this quick. I think that's just like an arraignment or something. I don't that's not the date of the trial, is it? I think the 13th is where she's gonna make rulings on two of the motions. I don't think the trial starts. But we do have another court date. That's the February 13th. The Murdoch trial is so draining. Yes. I don't know how Emily D. Baker sits through all these court hearings and things. I don't know. I thought that I would love to do it. I was like, if I didn't have kids or a job, I would just go sit in court all day because I'm nosy. You know what I'm saying? Sit through the Murdoch trial. Every once in a while, there'll be a little tidbit of information that drops where you're like, oh. But other than that, it's just like a snooze fest. You're just like, somebody gets up on stand, say your name, tell us who you are, tell us some of your history. Did you take these photos? Yep. Can you verify the photos? Yep. And then they show photos that we can't see. So it's really, it's a lot. Thank you. What, B? No. That's so nice of you. Yeah, Emily used to be a lawyer, so she's so used to sitting through that. There's talk that the February 13th date will be pushed back. I have not ever done jury duty, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I want to do jury duty. I just haven't. Everybody else is like, oh, I got jury duty, and I'm like, give it to me. But you can't. I got pulled for jury duty once, and then I went there. I was so happy. I was literally so happy. And I get there, and they're like, it's been canceled. I guess the guy took a plea deal or whatever, or whoever I was going to be there for took a plea deal. Emily is the MVP because she does, yeah, lives for 5 hours or more. I 7 hours the other day, like my first one on the first day of the trial that we covered was 7 hours. We went 7 full hours, and I was exhausted. I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, there hasn't even been a preliminary hearing. True. The trial isn't until 2025. They'll postpone it. They won't want me as a jury member. I wake up and ask, what happened? I know, right? Wait, what'd she say? Where I'm at, where I'm at, where I'm at. Yeah. Um, I went once. It was a lottery. I went to a Pamela Smart trial. It was chaos. Um, I'll apologize. Said at B, I will pay for your flights to come here. Um, there's so many B's. I don't know who you're talking about. Me, the other two B's, all of us. Kelly Brown says, I'll meet you in Savannah, Ale. Yeah, I wish I could go. Like, I would so go if I could, but like, I'm not going to be able to. First off, YouTube don't pay nothing since I started covering true crime, which is why I'm bringing the Bash Chat back. We're going to close this video out. We'll come back for a chit chat. How about that? How about let's close this out and we'll come back for a chit chat. I'm not going to do it here though. I'm going to do it on TikTok because this is going to be a true crime channel and I don't want to muddy it down with like too many chit chats. You guys go follow me on TikTok. I'm going to start doing more lives on TikTok. So, oh, that is true. With all due respect, Lady Baker is still an attorney and she runs her own business. I think she still is an attorney, but does she still work? Like I know, I'm not sure, but no disrespect to her. So you guys go follow me on TikTok. We're gonna do a live stream, and I'm gonna talk about how things have been going since I've switched to true crime. For everybody that accuses me of doing things for clicks and views and covering like the Vaughn trial for clicks and view or case for clicks and views and for money. Let me tell you guys something. Since I stopped covering reality TV, mainly and covering true crime, phew, you don't make nothing. Okay. So follow me on TikTok. My TikTok name is I don't remember, but I'm going to start trying to do TikTok. It is, let me see. It's in the description box below. I do know that. She's been on ABC. She's been on everything. We can do the Bash Chat. You guys want to do the Bash Chat? Let's do the Bash Chat. Maybe. I have to figure out how to go live on the Bash Chat. I have to switch everything over to go live on the Bash Chat, but I'll try to do that. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to try to go live on the Bash Chat. If it doesn't work, then I'm going to make a community post on the Bash Chat and on this channel telling you guys to go over to TikTok, and I will put the TikTok. The TikTok is at L_B_TV. Okay, so go follow me there, anyways, just so you can see all my TikToks. I don't think you guys can see it, but all the links are in the description box below. You guys know the video that I did about the couple that adopted the children and they were sexually abusing them. I made a TikTok about it, and it's got over 600,000 views. That's pretty cool. Anyways, so let's go over to the Bash Chat, and we'll chit chat. All right, you guys. I'm going to try to get over there. If I don't, we're going to do TikTok, but I'll let you guys know. Give me 10 minutes. If I'm not there, go to my TikTok. I'll make posts, though, on the community pages. Bye, everyone.